Hi, hello. This is Mareesha Parikh, the CEO at the Wedding School, absolutely live on my favorite page, TWS. And as the CEO, I welcome you all to a live where we are all about education. We are all about discussing how to improve the life of the next gen, how to improve the quality of life that they can attain, how to improve on what they deliver as professionals. I think the wedding school has definitely given me a chance to do all of that, and it's amazing to see how much of excitement our new campaign has garnered. I think this week I've happened to interact with a lot of friends from the fraternity, and thanks to Wedding Sutra. And I got a great chance to get some interesting feedback for our campaign this year, which is the circus theme, calling the decorator, the designers, the magicians, whilst we call the wedding planner the juggler. I think it's been really well received, and I'm really excited to see that people actually notice things. They notice themes, they notice fonts, they notice colors. They actually are there to process a concept. And I was really touched, because sometimes you are getting so excited about things and kabhi लगता है कि यार हम ही खुश हो रहे हैं क्या? Is anyone else noticing what we are trying to do with this? How we are trying to create a narrative? And to my amusement, yeah, it does get noticed, guys. So you must keep going at it. If you are the one who is wanting to tirelessly work on something, just go for it. Firstly, for yourself. That's really important. I think everything that I've done in my life has first begun with me wanting to do it right for myself, me wanting to do something different for myself. But at the end, we belong to the creative space, and creativity, showbiz, weddings is now part of showbiz, by the way. So all of these aspects are only a hit when you get acceptance, recognition, even if it is getting noticed. Sometimes people get noticed for their hatke atrangi creativity. It's not necessary you may agree with my style of work, but the fact that you noticed it, the fact that you stopped on my feed, you try to decode what I'm trying to show, you try to enjoy the journey with me, the storytelling, that means that I made an impact. And I think that's really what one should set out for. You should get noticed, even if it is in case of being like in a disagreement format, but you should get noticed. Team Wed Jobs is joining, and I'm assuming this is Vidisha who's written woohoo, because I don't think Vyomika is going to write woohoo. Super excited for today's live. Of course you should be. We have a very, very talented person who's joining me on the live. So last week we had Rituraj sir, who joined us on the TWS live. He spoke about, of course, himself, and of course he spoke about how it's important to actually understand and recognize the changing times, how he is still on the move, on the go, not stopping. I remember he was preparing for an event. I think it still might be on in Bengaluru as we speak. So that was a veteran who was talking to us. And today we are in sort of a battle where we want you guys to take sides, okay? Call it a battle, call it what you want, but there are always going to be multiple opinions on every single aspect, whether it's storytelling or whether it's got to do with Vyomika's writing, haha, acha, it means Vidisha was indeed there. So yeah, it is important to also have a healthy discussion in life. I think it's important to also disagree at times so that you actually understand the other person's perspective better. You open your mind up to newer opinions. I'm actually dealing with somebody who's just not open to any kind of suggestions right now. Life can get very difficult if we all close ourselves like that. It's not fun. I think you should just open up, be ready for introspection, and be ready for more thoughts and views. Doesn't mean you confuse yourself, but you have to keep your minds open, because that's the only way you will be able to coexist. Today is not the time where I can be a genius and I can stand alone and be very proud. I have to learn to coexist. And the first step towards coexisting is being open to other people's opinions. So I enjoy doing that with a very, very young team that I work with. And I'm very excited to welcome my young team member to join me over here, as she represents Gen Z, whatever you guys want to call it. But I don't see a ping over here, so I'm going to request Natasha. I know you were logging in through the Swaha ID, an accomplisher, in many, many aspects. And just as I speak to you guys about being open to opinions, she's also equally open to opportunities. She is very, very open to accepting that every changing time must require you to change yourselves and mold and adapt. And that is genuinely a constant. And I really feel that that's genuinely what really, really defines her. And she's right. So with us, hi, Natasha.
Okay, I'm just still trying to adjust the frame because it just got short. Okay. Hi, hello.
How are you doing? Looking great, madam.
Thank you. I thought I must uh, seeing who's on the other side. I was hoping for some colors and all, so I thought.
I actually wore black because of you.
And
Okay.
I wore such a very bright pink color because I thought I should look as bright as you do on your lives.
Damn it. See, guys, this is what we're talking about, how we should be open to suggestions. This is about both of us being open to accept each other's preferences and actually try to mold ourselves to impress and please the other. So Natasha is a very classy kind of a chick, minimalistic, as you guys like to define yourself these days, and I love colors. So I swear, guys, I wore a black thingy. Array, if I something right, Natasha, what is going on? Oh God.
Switching sides, never mind.
Totally. Vyomika is right. The two most creative, smarty babes on screen. How sweet.
Hi everyone. Okay, sorry, so many viewers are here and we're just talking. Hi everyone who's joined here. Thank you. Who else is there? Oh, there's so many people. Rituraj sir has joined. Oh,
Ritura, I
hello,
just
hi everyone.
Oh God. So Rituraj sir and everyone else who's joined in, I welcome you back. I saw Sayam is also over here. Hi Sayam, and welcome to our chat. So guys, we are here not really going to debate, but definitely going to discuss two different opinions. One from somebody who has spent nearly 2 decades, actually 2 decades and more in this industry, and someone who will very shortly reach a decade. Now, Natasha, how many years has it been?
2 years to go.
2 years to go. So 8 years.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wonderful, wonderful career, wonderful achievement to be able to sustain, survive in this space with so much of competition, with so many eyes always, always, always judging us. Your fan is over here, Mr. Deepak, to inspiring women of wedding industry.
Oh,
You.
Sayam. Sayam says hi. Hi Sayam, how are you doing?
Great. So I thought, as a wedding school entity, I think we both represent the brand equally, and we thought that let's have some fun and try to understand the younger generation's perspective. Not that I count myself in the older, but still, I think every
We
5 years
do.
started. You may, I may not. Mera bas chaliye, I would want to be considered younger than Natasha forever and ever, but that will never happen.
I will rather go on the other side where people consider me a little more mature than my age and then give me the right credit.
Swear, I must be quite something. Now look younger than what you are, and thus assumed and perceived that, oh, she must be taking her job like here for the fun of it. Does that happen with you even now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not how I look, and what's my age like. It's more to do, I started so early. So, somebody having to believe the fact that, okay, it's been 8 years is like, okay, are you kind of lying? Because we don't see that. But of course, over time, once somebody gets to know you, they see your work, they do tend to understand. But yeah, as a Gen Z, I would call it does get to me a lot of times that, why am I being judged based on my age? Or maybe I might be just 2 years experienced in the industry, but I might have something that gives me more edge than others, So that is something that does get to me, wherein your generation looks at my generation in a way that, okay, but I think now I have made my peace with it, simply because I do, now being able to be on the other side, being able to be a little more on the senior side, I do understand, where does that thought come from? Because this is because of the numerous other people who tend to come out like that. And yeah, our generation is not as,
Hmm.
not as open to doing, full-time jobs, to be able to pull out things or be just patient. So I don't blame the industry overall, but yeah, I just hope that there is a little more open perspective towards accepting young people, which has started happening, which I see first of all in our team itself. Like, we're all young people just trying to do something crazy all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be very candid here, Natasha. It has also got to do a lot of the way one carries themselves, where there's a certain kind of consciousness, etc., which you may display may not be the case with everyone from Gen Z. Because they have been exposed to social media and the world without having traveled, they've not worked hard to see anything in the world. They've sat in front of a screen and seen everything. So
Yeah.
it's come to them on a platter, as one would say. And I feel it's
Yeah.
your tone which may upset the Gen X, because it's not about always about, oh, she's young, she may not be good, or he's young, he may not be good, but the attitude with which someone
Yeah.
speaks to you, again, call it old school, new school, fun day, that you're a cool, casual, etc. But I feel you're a person who's been able to strike a balance. When you are with the younger lot, your gang, you're a different person. When you are with the client and industry, you are able to, make a switch. That that's actually your
Yeah.
friend thing.
Yeah. Hi, Ayushi. How are you doing? Hey,
I think
hey, everyone who's joined in. Sorry, you were saying?
no, I was saying I think even Sahil has joined in.
I can't see the comments. I think they're just passing by.
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
whoever has joined. Hi to everyone.
Okay, tell me, Natasha, how
Okay.
has your gang of peers taken COVID? How have the 2 years been for you? Not in terms of work, no work. That story I think we all have shared in common.
Yeah.
But mentally, how have you guys absorbed what has happened? Have you all accepted that from 24 to 26 and from 23 to 25, we just went automatic on a button click? Did that really sink in?
Uh, been with friends with so many people, I think it was a very it was a roller coaster ride, honestly, because everyone started with a bang that, okay, we're going to hang by and things will just get fine. Let's just take a break. And I think there was so much shuffle that in every 15 days I would hear people changing their sides, right from we're going to just stick by for some time, hang in there and see what's going to happen, to literally vacating places. And I was one of them, where we literally, all the people who are not from, they just went back to their hometowns. People started doing some of their business. They started joining their parents, and eventually a lot of them did leave the industry as well, simply because, of course, the lack of jobs and opportunities and earnings. But I think now with things coming back, the hope is back. I think with us reviving good and reviving back, my friends and all have started coming. And one good thing that I noticed across industry was that now we're so much more open to be able to work from wherever we are. It's like, okay, there's an event, let's travel for it. Okay, this needs to be managed. Fine, I can work this out from home. So that is something that has really helped the Gen Z because they're good at technology. They do understand how to make best use of their resources. So yeah, but yeah, the shuffle has been really crazy. Where from in these past 2 years, the 24 to 26 and 25 to 27 has happened, wherein we didn't realize where the 2 years went by. But yeah, people definitely got to look at a lot more than what they can just do beyond being a part of the industry. So and yeah, I think a lot of people have gotten clarity also. Like, okay, you know what? This is my thing. I don't want to leave this. Like, I thought that probably it would lead me to somewhere, having to leave my jobs and colleagues being, saying that, okay, we don't know if you want to do this. And from that, I was like, I want to do this. I don't think so. There is anything else that I would like to do. So yeah, I think that's more or less what how my generation perceives it. But us, it's a very good thing that our generation is very flexible. So
Yes.
whether it's leaving or whether it's reviving or surviving or coming back to it, we
Hmm.
are pacey in that way. So I think that do helps us. And on the other side, talking on your behalf a little, is what I've understood is what you how the seniors and the mentors of the industry look at it is like, we're there for you guys. We'll hold on the industry, just hang in there. So that little bit of hope, makes so much difference in just
True.
us being able to rely on you guys. That okay, you know what, you all are going to figure how the industry goes. We will figure how we want to be back and we want to be able to do things. So yeah.
Bounce back. But I think the way you all have handled it, I think a lot of credit goes to definitely each of your mentors. It goes to the company owners, and it really goes to parents, because it was so easy for the generation to just think, cry about everything, whether it was losing a job or a salary cut or having to go back to hometown. But I think emotionally, we've all just held on to each other.
Yeah.
And definitely the ones who survived are the ones who are going to flourish. I can really say that. But it's nice to see how you guys have managed this. I think an interesting aspect has also been where these 2 years gave you a chance to interact with the next set of people. You must have seen
Yeah.
yourself, many of the students whom you interacted with at the wedding school. Tell me, you have your, or anyone whom you saw and you felt, oh God, she's just like what I used to be.
I think I have the best example at Swaha, a beautiful student of TWS, which is Poonam. I look at her and I'm like, where is she heading? And I relate so much to her because, like a 17, 18-year-old girl. And I must tell you something that Poonam has been one of the best dedicated students. She's genuinely just 17, 18 years old. And she recently did a project where she got to travel and work for an Antalya project where the team was really lean. Okay, it was a very lean team traveling, but she was a part of it without a second thought. And during that process, when she would ask me questions, it was a proud and a very relatable moment because there were so many things that no one was there to guide me or tell me how does it work or opportunities. I also got opportunity in a similar way wherein I'm traveling international out of nowhere and heading the project out of nowhere. So yeah, that's a beautiful journey to see how she's growing up and she's making it up. Another person I think I would say I have been actively in touch with Vishal from the last
Yeah.
batch, and he keeps in touch with me. He understands. He tries to know how things are working. So even that's a very good example of somebody who's on the other side. Because if I were there in Udaipur back then, and if I had a support like TWS with me, wherein I might not want to even travel somewhere out of my city, and I just want to create something of my own, but who's
Yeah.
guiding me? So I think I really want to be there for these guys, because it just makes me feel so much more fulfilled, and it just makes me feel okay. Probably I'm being somebody who can help somebody else. So yeah, that. I mean, yeah, that's a very good. Makes you feel very full. Yeah.
No, definitely. In fact, I met someone yesterday at the Wedding Sutra event. Someone comment to both of us. He's from the photography space, and interestingly, he spoke about the same point that you had, that there are so many youngsters in Udaipur, Jaipur, and I want to take your education out there to them. And I've actually thought of something of how to do it. So, he wants to discuss that, and it just gets me so excited. I think the more we all start believing that education and professional training is going to help them, I think the sharper the next gen is going to be who get into it. And hopefully, no matter how much competition, I think they will bring in more dignity, I'm hoping, and
Yeah.
not allow the clients to speak to us the way they speak today. I think dignity of labor, as we like to call it, we don't want to glamorize it, but I
Yeah.
think all that's required is that kind of dignity and respect. Vishal is here. He's writing.
Yeah, he's actually here.
Oh, sweet. Okay, everyone, you can start writing in your opinions, because now I'm coming to the next question for Natasha. Um, Wedding planning or design decor, what is it that excites you guys more, either when you are exploring it, or when you are working on a project, or when you're watching somebody's work on Instagram? What do you feel is more exciting, the role of a wedding planner or the role of somebody who is designing and in the space of decor, either as a decorator, as a tent house, or a designer itself, or even working with one of these companies? So yeah, guys, please write your comments. And Natasha, I want to start with you.
You got me. I have to really think about it now. It's like
So someone
choosing.
you're talking from Swaha page.
I know. Forgive me for I'm sinning. I think I'll kind of split it and play safe. Where I would say exciting is definitely planning and management, because it just kind of fuels you in a way that nothing else can. I think it, and that is something, because I think the scope of work is just so elaborate. There's so much that there's so much that needs to be done, that it just keeps you pumped up. There's never a sleep time, or there's never an eat time. Like it just does so much, and you're the one who's. I think I like the idea that somebody's just relying on you. You're that one person who's
Yeah.
getting shit done. So I think that is very thrilling and exciting. But on the other side, uh, I think the satisfaction, I think I get when I get to do the projects on design and decor, because you kind of can see what you have thought of. You visualize something, you draw inspirations from so many things, you try to incorporate a little bit of yourself. That particular element or installation or floral or that one picture is a part of you, reflecting you and your aesthetics. And of course you get to see it live. When it comes to planning, I think it is so sad that we can't tell the amount of effort that goes in there, because there's nothing physical in hand. And so yeah, I think it's a crazy combination of two. But I love design and decor, because you just get to see so much. Of course
Yeah.
your limited scope of work is there. so, so,
I think
so yeah.
first, yes, if you're only managing, compared to taking the responsibility of what a
Yeah.
planner does. But I think you're able to objectively watch what you have visualized. You can pinpoint on an object and let people know, what that is
Yeah.
created or placed by me. A planner can never do that. It
Yeah.
is an experiment which is felt from within and understood by a client, uh, but never felt understood by the others who are around us, because they just will not get to know the extent to which one has had to go all out. I personally prefer planning, and as when speak of Gen Z and what their aspirations should be, I really sway towards design record because while planning is something that makes you dominate the game. I think everyone today wants to become a planner, including a lot of people who are into artist management and who are into technicals and who are also into decor space, who now are saying, oh, you know what, we want to get into planning because that gives you the, you are like the one and only, literally.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're like the ringmaster.
for yeah, for dominating personality, I think it's great to feel that okay, planning is it. But from the next gen perspective, and I've always believed in this. In fact, I was also telling our common friend about this a few weeks back, that you guys need to understand that you can't be preparing yourselves only for today. That is
Yeah.
not right. As especially as those who ventured into their own entrepreneurial ventures, they cannot be doing the same thing that I did when we started Swaha. It
Yeah.
won't work, you know. What you have to do today as an entrepreneur is way different. And
Yeah.
you have to and have to and have to think of the coming 5 years and plan what you want to do today. And in those aspects, I feel design decor becomes a very interesting space where you have to understand that that's the next big thing, where the players are few, but the kind of importance the client has started giving those few players is unbelievable. It's amazing to see that. And I think that there is a lot of scope over there, which a lot of aspirants who want to become planners are not noticing. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's really important to go into a space which is less explored, so there's lesser competition, there is more importance given to you as an individual, and of course the longevity is there. Neither of the businesses are going to go out of fashion. So
See, I think yes, and wedding planning was also one of the design and light design and decor years back. Like I remember when I was doing the course, etc. Like it was barely a thing. There was nothing like a wedding planner, or just getting to trend, and that's how it just started and all of that. So, but of course, the opportunities that time were very less, and so
yeah,
was the competition. Now, I would just go back to one of the plugins that you asked me before about entrepreneurs, like about entrepreneurs joining in. I think that has also happened so much that people who bounced back have bounced back with their own companies. They probably were working somewhere, they were not really prepared for it, but the 2 years just gave them enough time to feed in into some kind of business, or just some people who would tell them, just start your own company, because we keep getting that, and it's so disturbing because it's the industry is much bigger than just being entrepreneur. I think being front leaders, presenting front as front runners for a lot of brands, that itself is really important. Having that exposure is so important, and of course eventually if the end goal is entrepreneurs, it's always welcome. But I
yeah,
don't think so that just sitting at home and thinking, okay, let's start a company is enough for you to become a planner, because then you're just going to be like a planner and not like somebody who a client look forwards to plan to their wedding. Then I mean it's a checklist wedding that you can always do, and I think that skill is something that an 18-year-old can have from their school time itself.
so
So
true.
fall and grow. So I mean, yeah, I don't know what I know a little bit of your perspective on this, but
Yeah. No, but that's very valid, Natasha, and I really think that it's important that people understand, the other side of so many talented people such as you who may not have taken that path, because again, that's a clutter. A lot of them, yes, took the COVID as a time to get into it. A lot of them lost their jobs as they became, entrepreneurs out of no choice.
yeah, yeah,
So today seems to be a bigger clutter. And I think that even for students like them and for budding entrepreneurs, TWS becomes a great ground for them to actually groom themselves, get into a finesse style of working where they are not compared to their peers, but they are compared to somebody who's their senior.
senior,
So
yeah,
that jump is really important even for an entrepreneur. I wish that entrepreneurs in the wedding space would spend and invest more on themselves, whether it's educating themselves, upgrading their knowledge, the way they dress up, the kind of etiquettes that they follow. This all requires a lot of grooming. And for you to ace the game, knowledge is one part, experience is one part, and presentation is a whole new part, you
A
know.
whole
And
different way. Yeah.
exposure through a classroom really can do the trick. Chinendra has written, please answer my.
So I'm just trying to find his question, but I can't scroll. If you can scroll and find his question.
Can you please put the question again? We are so sorry. I don't seem to have seen the question. Harsh
Yeah.
is joined. Harsh is out on his honeymoon and he's with us. What is Disha doing? Chat now.
He'll exit the live right away. He's like, मैं notice नहीं होना चाहता हूँ.
Oh my God. I think it's really amazing to see that finally he went. It was like jayega, nahi jayega. It was such a big
And him
miss.
clicking pictures. Okay, I think you're being irrelevant. We'll talk about the topic.
Sameer Bhai is also here. Hi, Sameer Bhai. I'm eager to know if you're still around on the chat. What do you think of this entire idea that we've come up with to introduce the design decor course this year? You are an ace at the game, and I think you have understood the value of education, and thus you gave us your lovely daughter to train, Priyanka.
Yeah.
I did a fair job with her. What she does believe. So I would love your opinion on this entire extension of wanting to educate youngsters with the new types of designing, new software use, actually bringing more professional players in huge organizations such as that, the money, and so many others across. I'm so sorry, Jininder. I'm not able to find the question. You can
Yeah. Janendra, can you drop in the question once again, please? That would be great. We would really like to answer the question. And everyone else, if you all have any questions, the idea of coming online using Swaha's handle was that y'all will be able to understand us more as planner versus an educationist. So please feel free to drop in questions, either or.
Oh yeah. Actually, there is important for everyone on the wedding school page also to understand where does all this knowledge, understanding of professional training really come from. It genuinely stems from this brand that you see here, Swaha, and it's so good.
Yay!
It is something that I'm actually more proud of right now, less as TWS, but more to see Natasha, on that page of this brand, because I don't know why this industry is not maturing to a level where you have individuals representing a brand. It may not all owner. I don't know when we grow in that space, and when all the owners become that confident about themselves to let this ecosystem grow in a way it deserves to grow.
Yeah.
And I feel really nice to see you there, Natasha.
It's such a coincidence because genuinely, before I called you to discuss, and we just thought let it be impromptu. I actually thought that without letting you know, I'm just going to plug this in that if anyone else is watching me from Swaha's handle, I really want to tell the seniors, the mentors, the entrepreneurs, please give your your colleagues and your seniors and your best teammates the chance to come. Um, are out there. I want to see out there. We're exchanging similar thoughts, similar minds, and because I get to see that so rare. Because it's great how you guys have given us the opportunity to be out there, to be able to interact. But at the end, I'm interacting with the entrepreneurs, and of course, the wavelength, the exposure, the understanding of how does an other colleague, other senior member of other team thinks of the industry, because right now I'm just trying to learn and absorb what the entrepreneurs are talking, but I would love to interact with those guys who are like, my age, who've been around, who thinks on a similar lines as me. So yeah, I think that is so important at the moment, because
Yeah.
we are it is about the next gen. I think the wedding school is also about the next gen. It's about how we perceive, and we're only going to grow mature if you give us the opportunity to be out there and talk some mature words. So I
Yeah.
think that's really so important. So anyone who's here, if I lost you.
Cross. It's just lagged a bit.